Hello, it's May 18th. On this date in 1927, in this very spot on the corner of Clark and Watson Road in Bath, Michigan, I'm going to take you back a little ways. This is where a man by the name of Andrew Kehoe lived. From now on, I'm going to call him the Madman because that's what, in fact, he was. Tell you a little bit more about that in a minute, but I want to show you. This is where his house stood, right back in here. And you can notice nothing else has been developed on it because there's a fear that there are still unexploded ordnances under the ground. The woods over here, I'm going to let you follow this back with me from the car. This is the actual path that he took under cover of moonlight with the explosives for well over a year. Being the handyman at the school, he had the keys so he could get in at nighttime to store the explosives for the tragedy that happened in this very small town on this date in 1927. Now I'm going to keep filming so you can get an idea how far he had to walk with the explosives to get them to what was the new Bath Consolidated School. The reason that he blew the school up is because his farm was not doing too well. Taxes had been raised and he was in danger of foreclosure. On the spot that I showed you, he bound his livestock up by the feet. He killed his wife, blew up the house, blew up the barn. When the fire department arrived on scene, they met the Madman and he said, "Boys, I like you. You better get down to the school because they're going to need you there real soon." So now we're going to get back on the road and I'm going to show you the distance that it took him to carry the dynamite. So starting from right here at Clark and Watson, I'm going to hold the phone so you can see the woods. Now it's developed. You'll see houses along here probably. But he'd be walking through this wooded area. No houses back then, probably, or very few. Most of the six newer. So this was all just woods here. He's walking through it at nighttime, over a year. Pyritol, which was an explosive at the time, and regular TNT. Now, when the school blew up, he drove down this very road that we're on right now, and he was probably very happy and excited to get to school and see his handiwork because the explosion had actually shaken the whole town of Bath. Only half the explosives went off. They say if all of them went off, it would have blown up the whole township of Bath. He turned this corner that we're coming up to up here, and he pulled up in front of the school and was probably horrified and a little bit pissed off to see that only half of his explosives had gone off. So he went up one block, took a left turn, went around the block coming out right here on this street, Main Street, and pulled his car up, which was filled with explosives, shrapnel, and his dog. Called the superintendent over to his car, and witnesses say the superintendent looked at him just before the secondary explosion and said, "You did this, didn't you?" At which point Kehoe fired a pistol into the back seat of the vehicle, making it blow up himself, the superintendent of schools, and two students. This school right here, Bath Elementary, does have a museum inside commemorating the disaster that happened here. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit more and then I'm going to turn this off. This is just kind of for history's sake for all of you people who have no idea this even happened. And then we're going to do a little ghost hunting. So, here we go. This is, in fact, where the school was, right here. This white steeple in front of us is all that remains of the school, except I've noticed that I've been out here many different times, it appears at different areas around you can actually see pieces of the cement footing from the original school that was blown up. Actually, here's some right here. That's part of the foundation of the original school. So all those years ago right now, can you picture all the bricks, all the boards, all the blood? Bodies were taken over to that white building there, which is a church, and that was used as a temporary morgue at the time to put the children's bodies in there. 38 children died pretty much all at once, and the total death toll, including the madman, was 45. So you can see people have been out, put flowers around here. And we're going to come around here. This is a picture of the school. I think you can probably see that at least a little bit. Like I said, this actually is part of the original school. This is there when it was blown up. Yep, actually it's in the picture. It would be right there. Now, interesting ghost story. A man was standing right here on this side of the steeple, and he was doing an EVP session, and he was facing this way. All of a sudden, his pants started getting wet around his knee. It was warm, and it ran down towards his shoe. And it said at the time it felt kind of like a dog peed on him. Well, as I said, Kehoe's dog also died in the explosion, and when he listened back to the EVP, he noticed at the same time that happened that there was a deep laughter that was recorded. They have some monuments over here for the children that died. And I guess that's about it. This is the site of the second largest mass murder in United States history, not including 9/11. The only other one before that, it was the Oklahoma City bombing. And it's still to this day the largest school massacre in the United States history, but no one seems to know that it happened. Here is a monument, Bath School disaster. And then over here, I just want to show you everything. Over here is another monument. And here is one more. One last thing. If you look down here to where the telephone pole is on the left-hand side of the road, that's approximately where Kehoe's car was when he blew it up. And the tree is not there anymore, but right back over in here, his upper torso and half of his head was found hanging off the limb of a tree. Thank you.